Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another live rendition of Ensemble, your weekly AEW review show here at BC Wrestle Pod. And tonight, the dynamic duo is in the house. This is the gayest show you will ever see tonight. And he's be like, hey, I love it. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. My name is Mikey, also known as El Jefe of the BC Wrestle Pod. You know, parts, whatever you want to call it. And joining me this evening is my fellow brother, my hermano, my AEW Grand Poobah correspondent, if you will, Mr. Benny, who I am so happy to have here tonight.
Greetings and salutations. As usual, let's rock and roll.
Heck yeah. So before we get into it this evening, covering all the Dynamite and Collision action from this past week, a quick rundown of some announcements. If you are new here, follow us on YouTube or Twitch or Kick, whatever your preferred video watching / streaming platform is. But we also ask that if that is not up to your speed, but still want to interact with us, then follow us on our social medias at BC WrestlePod. We do a lot of things over there. It's a lot of fun. And of course, we have merchandise at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. Every piece of merch that we have is tied to a charity in some capacity. So get yourself something nice. We also have a little coffee bot who will be popping in ever so often during the review if you would like to donate us to help keep the metaphorical and physical lights on, as well as help pay for certain expenses here at BC WrestlePod, because we do a lot. And we are always trying to find ways to continue to keep going. So with your help, that would be possible. So thank you, and we appreciate you. All righty. I wanted to keep that short because we got a lot to talk about, because there's a lot of exciting things that happened in AEW this week. A lot of changes, certain things happening, but a lot of fun stuff that we're going to get into. So we are going to kick things off, as we always do here, with AEW Dynamite. So this week was the post. Well, I mean, technically, it's the post edition of All Out Toronto. Last Tuesday, we reviewed the pay-per-view, and now these are the first shows after said pay-per-view, leading us into Wrestle Dream coming up in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, which is crazy that we're already at this.
They didn't give us any time to breathe, did they?
No, they did not. But hey, you know what? We wouldn't have it any other way, and lots of exciting things. So let's just jump into it. So the before intro promos are back, and I'm here for it. Like, the pre-show promos are here for it. So Hangman kicks us off officially by giving his props to Kyle Fletcher, but also because where we are currently at this taping of Dynamite, Hangman Page wants to, fight the hometown boys to fight the people. So he gonna challenge Tiger Style Lee Moriarty later tonight for the AEW World Championship. And I'm just like, this is free on my television? What? I mean, granted, I knew that this match was happening, but even still, I was like, this is free on my television? I want to be Lee Moriarty. He's just
everybody and anybody. Bring them all.
Seriously. So again, I'm happy that the before bumper promos are back, which I love. They're fantastic. And this leads us into the bumper, which then leads us into our introduction from our commentary team, as always. And then we just jump straight into our opening match, which is for the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. This is Brodito versus Goa, the Gates of Agony. And I was just like, 3 out of these 4 men all combined that's a lot of meat in this ring. I'm wondering how this is going to go down. And it went down as exactly as I thought it was going to. Lots of hard hits. Bandito getting thrown at every. Oh my goodness. Did I think Go was going to win? No, but you know what? I am so happy that they got this shot. They got this spot on the card. Like, they got to compete for the tag titles. I was just like, give me more. But of course, I love Brodito as well. So I'm just like, keep the tag titles on Brodito for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you just said, like, a couple of these guys are, like, really meaty. Bandito is pretty meaty, too. He's just, like, not as tall as everybody else. GOA and Dito had crazy chemistry. Like,
big time.
The first few minutes were, like, Bishop Khan and Bandito. I was like, can Bandito not have a bad match?
I'm telling you, Bandito is right now in my number 1 position to be my favorite wrestler of this year, which is crazy. But what a year for Brody King too, with Alistair going back to the Fed. Buddy Matthews is still out. and also making me laugh watching him get sunburned and chopped by his wifey, which is hilarious to watch. Listen, you could be an AEW stan, but also be like, Buddy and Rhea Ripley are my favorite wrestling couple out there right now.
You know, a lot of the boys and girls are all friends. It doesn't make any sense. The war is between the fans, really. So,
Seriously. But all to say that Brody King out here, he was kind of just like doing singles matches, doing great. And now he's a tag team champion with Bandito. This odd pairing worked very well, and I'm here for it. I really am. They have gotten over the crowd so much. And you know what? The championship reign of Brodito continues because they ultimately retain their tag team championships here. But man, this was a fun way to open Dynamite this past week, and I had a great time with it. So
yeah, GOA is like one of my favorite like up and coming tag teams. Like the reason I hesitated is because they've been around for a while, and like I just saw them like when I first saw them, I was like, oh, these guys got something. And lately, the way that they like outshined Big Bill and Brian Keith in that short feud is why I think that they're here.
Man, so this was fun. This was a fun way to open the show, and looking forward to see where both of these teams go next in the respective stories that we're telling. But right now, we have our new women's champion, Chris Statlander, with Harley Cameron. It's crazy that we said this last week during the review for the pay-per-view, but commentary stating the fact that it's been 4 years since Chris has challenged for this title. I'm like, that's pretty much almost as long as the inception of this company. What the heck? I was like, holy crap, Chris, it's been a journey for you. But I'm so happy to see her. Renee interviews her here, talking about, all the possible matches and the opponents, as well as the lingering things with the Death Riders, which Chris is going to address later. But Harley and Chris is a duo I never wanted until we got it. Harley with anyone always creates matches.
Yeah, actually, I had it in my notes earlier. I was just like, I like how Stat, like, she was sort of not always the best on the mic, So they gave her Harley, and it's like gold, good to go. And like,
yeah, so this is a lot of fun, and you know what? We're gonna see Chris in our main event later.
To be honest, though, I know it's been 4 years since she was in a title match, but she did give both knees in that time. So
that is also true, man. We will see. Yeah, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see Chris later on in the evening, but. Moving forward with our review. Oh my goodness. I just love this weird, wacky family that is the Conglomerate.
I know.
So, I mean, talk about just laying all the cards out there, because backstage we're like, so any idea of who your guys' who the mystery partner is going to be for the upcoming 6-man? And, Mark Briscoe putting on these shades. I was just like, way to lay it on thick, bro. I was like, we know why we're here, Mark.
Yeah, there was a lot of pulp in this here promo.
Hot damn, man. But, Mark Briscoe putting on the shades. It's like, we know where this is going, and I cannot wait for it, which, we're going to have to wait for a little bit. When we get into this match, this is an AEW World Championship Open Challenge. Hangman Adam Page defending his title against the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Tyga-style Lee Moriarty. This match was magical. I am such a big fan of Lee Moriarty. I feel like his championship reign as ROH Pure Champion has been awesome to watch because he's fighting people across the world. He's, from CMLL to New Japan guys. Like, this is great. And what a hell of a performance for Lee. Yeah, Hangman's cool and everything. I love him. But damn, that sounded bad. I'm sorry, Hangman. I love you with all my little heart. But it's like the meme where it's just like, I love you, pushing to the side, but I'm here for Lee.
Pretty much, right?
Oh my goodness. I had a blast with this one. This was fun. And again, Lee continues to prove us like he's really solid. Push this kid to the moon, AEW. Come on, Tony. But, I digress.
Yeah, I think they're building him just fine right now. This was a great little spotlight match, like just to show you exactly what he has on the big stage. And I thought about, like, at first I was like, no SCP, that's interesting. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, it's his moment to shine. Like they can get back to that like next week. And yeah, I'm also like, I'm such a big Lee Johnson fan. Wow. Lee Moriarty fan. Oh man, no disrespect. I'm sorry. Lee Moriarty. Like, I type his name in so often in my phone, like autocorrect to type in Lee, it says Moriarty. I'm a big fan.
Wow, oh, man. Yeah, I had a blast with this one for sure. And of course, Hangman wins, but you know what? It's a good spotlight match, as you said. And I think that's the important bit here with this kind of matches, that Hangman, again, with Kyle Fletcher, with Lee Moriarty. It's like these guys, to me, are at least are going to be the next ones up come the next year or two when it comes to getting new blood into the main event championship scene and champions for that matter too. So cannot wait. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, we go from that match to this. So I was just like, again, same thing with Mark Briscoe. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. I swear I'm going to have a conspiracy theory because once again, Mark Briscoe has a different quote unquote sprite in this placard. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We were told we were going to hear from FTR, and I was just like, again, every time I see Dax and Cash, especially Dax, I was like, did someone fart in this picture and Dax is smelling it? Like, what is happening right now? The camera people's like, all right, which one of you did it? And Cash is just like, really, guys? Really? Now, I wasn't sure what we were going to get. I was just like, okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about it later, but with Cope being gone and I'm going to wait until that conversation happens because some people will be like, oh my gosh, Cope is going to go back. We're going to get a retire match between John Cena. And I'm like, no, calm yourself. That is not what's happening. We will get into it in a little bit, but FDR talk about their win, not win. They talk about, All Out Toronto, but, they attack Christian. They're kind of working with the matriarchy. Stoker comes in and says some things, and then they are interrupted. I was like, oh, okay, we're probably going to get interrupted by the boys. No. I was thoroughly surprised and really excited when we were interrupted by Miss Willow Nightingale. I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, is she going to beat these bitches up? Because I'm here for it. Like, is she about to beat TR up? So Willow gets on the mic and she's just like, both of you are trash, but that's not what we're here to talk about. She's like, I'm here to talk about a women's wrestling trailblazer, one that has inspired me. And, she talks a little bit about Beth Copeland here, where she's like, Beth is a trailblazer. She's inspired so many women, myself included, and she made me want to do professional wrestling, and she pushed me to do this. And, whether it be from wrestling in these tiny arenas and shows and gymnasiums, not knowing how I was going to get home that night, to wrestling, winning the Owen, winning the TBS championship. It is women like Beth that have laid the groundwork for women like me. And she didn't say this, but she told FTR, and I will be damned if you two go and talk bad about her. And it's women like Beth that, help women like us remind ourselves that we don't have to take shit from guys like you. And I was just like clapping. I was like, preach, Willow, preach. This, I was like, holy shit. Listen, Tony, this promo right here, even though it wasn't necessarily for a program, so to speak, this solidified it for me. You can never turn Willow heel. Like, you can never make me hate her, even if she were to turn heel. Like, absolutely not. Holy hell, Willow. This was so good for you, girl. And I was just like, yes, preach, give me everything. And you know what? I have to give credit to FTR because they are the heels, but even then, they're just like, okay. One, I kind of give credit to FTR because they also like try their best to not put hands on women if they can. But also, honestly, they like, we know she gonna beat us up later. So FTR and Stoke get into Willow's face. Stoke telling Willow it's past her bedtime. They get in her face. Out comes Jet Speed for the assist. And we're seemingly setting up an FTR versus Jet Speed and Stoke and FTR versus Willow and Jet Speed program ? Because if that's the case, I'm here for it. I'm also here for Willow and Jet Speed being a thing as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she's like on the Speed blog a lot, I think, and they seem to be a fun pairing because they're both just super happy people. And
I love it.
I was like, this was fantastic. Like, I really like a lot of the verbiage by FTR on this one, but they get a pass from me. But like, gonna make this point later on. But like, Willow coming out here and standing toe to toe with one of AEW's best acts, it says a lot about how much they feel about her. And so like, it feels like FTR, like, even though she got in their face, FTR sort of gave her the rub on this one.
This was just fantastic. Again, not only from Willow, but also setting up a program between everybody involved here, which makes me super excited. I didn't know where we were going to go for the last 3 pay-per-views this year with Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, and World's End, but shoot, I'm excited to see where the rest of 2025 for AEW goes. And if we continue to get stuff like this, which goes to show us like, listen, guys, We don't need just championship storyline feuds. We can have feuds that don't involve championships. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
seriously. Like, but the other problem is that everybody has a championship. So champions versus champions at this point.
You get a belt, and you get a belt. Not you, but oh my goodness, I really love this segment. This was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see where this leads. Listen, I know I've been a little critical of MJF over the last couple months, but when I tell you this is the energy I need for MJF when he comes back from filming, the movie that he's about to go do for a couple of weeks, because I need this MJF where it is like, I'm gonna break you, I'm gonna break your soul, and I'm gonna take what I want. I'm like, yes, give it to me right now. Like this was an awesome pre-tape promo. Again, I'm not the biggest, like normally I was just like, okay, MJF, we know it's like half the time it's paint by numbers. We know where this is going. But I'm like, I like an MJF who has lost a lot recently, but he's like, you know what? Instead of blaming people, instead of getting depressed about it, I'm gonna take back what's mine. I don't care who I got to step on to get to it, but you better watch out because I'm gonna bring everything I can. I was like, give me this MJF 24/7. Like I really enjoyed this one from Max. What did you think, Benny?
Yeah, to be honest with you, like I love this promo, but why does it always seem that Max's like best promos always have have a tendency to be like about himself?
Which is very fair. I'm not gonna lie. You have a point. And honestly, I was like, yeah, you know what? When I think about it a little bit more, you're right. I think again, this is how my brain operates, and I'm a little weird about it. But when it comes to character writing, usually what makes the character go over in wrestling is probably what you're going to be your default setting. And I think Max's default, which you said, I think is when he's normally about himself. He don't care about nobody. He doesn't want to work with nobody. He's in it for himself. Literally, it's all or nothing with him, and that's usually Max's default. But I think that worked. However, again, because I'm cautiously optimistic and I am excited for when MJF comes back, what I need from Max is that, and the problem that runs into with any character writing, whether it's wrestling or in stories or anything, the default is always going to be the strongest, but you have to find ways to nuance that and to add dimensions to that default. Because if we get the same rinse and repeat like motions of MJF that we have seen before, it's going to get stale really fast. So Max's goal, as well as the team in AEW and Tony, needs to be able to figure out when for this chapter for MJF, what is that nuance and what is that dimension going to look like to keep this fresh, at least taking us to the end of 2025.
Yeah, and I to be honest with you, given that Full Gear is in New Jersey, I see Max returning shortly before that. Even though he's get a couple weeks off and all that stuff. But go take a honeymoon, dude.
Honestly, for real. Oh my goodness. But Max is off, MJF is off filming a movie for a little bit, so he will be coming back when that is all said and done. And, we keep pushing go forward with the show because, again, how many more pictures of Mark Briscoe do we have that are 100% different? I swear, every single time he's on a card, it is always something different. I'm like, now, Anthony Khan. I'm just like, I think you are doing this on purpose, specifically for us. And all I have to say to that is, please don't stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark has such the most elastic face, So he's a gold mine for all of these for a photographer. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's beautiful, but we end up getting this 6-man tag team match. So this trios match. This is the Don Callis family, which is Hechicero, our unified champion, Kazuchika Okada, and our G1 Climax winner from this year, Konosuke Takeshita, who has a very big match coming up in October, which is at this point of the week, which we'll talk about when we get to Collision, of Hologram, the ever-loving man of 1,000 faces, Mark Briscoe. But more importantly, my friend, before we even get the reveal of our opponent, Don Callis has a new painting, and I was just like, not another homoerotic painting. But also, I'm kind of here for the homoerotic painting.
It's sort of on brand, dude.
I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, those things are gaudy, but I would buy a t-shirt of that immediately. The t-shirts for those things is crazy. But Of course, when we get the reveal of our, did I include the picture? I hope I included the picture. No, that's afterwards. Never mind, I did it. But as we reveal the painting, out steps up who we all already know was coming back, but so happy to see him actually back on our screen, which is, of course, whatever, man. Orange Cassidy is back. I've missed Orange so much, Benny.
Yeah, it was great seeing Orange back and like mixing it up with Okada, because for those who might forget, Orange Cassidy, like we're also in Chaos together, like a faction in New Japan.
Absolutely.
So it's like chaos, literally.
Man, it's good. Yeah, this match was a lot of fun. Again, Orange is back, so I've missed Orange doing orangey things. And of course, we're continuing to tease Okada and Takeshita. Like, we're working together tonight, but let's not forget, I'm still coming for you. And I love how oblivious Don Callis is to this whole entire thing. I was just like, one of my favorite tropes in wrestling is when we, the audience, see the nuclear bomb that is about to go off in the near future, but the people involved are like, everything's all hunky-dory. And I'm just like, Don Callis, I want whatever, prescription for delusion that you are on. But it's fun. And I was just like, hear me out, right? I would love for Takeshita to beat Zack in October for the IWGP Championship. And then Don's like, hey, look at that. Takeshita's a member of this family. And then he's like, none of you were there when I won. So bye. I was just like, you've been so focused on Okada and everybody else. And I'm just out here. I want a whole nother championship. Bye. Like, that story is going to be so much fun. But back to this match itself. I had a great time with this. This was a match where Orange Cassidy got to do Orange Cassidy things. And honestly, that's what I feel like that's what this match was really here for. To get the crowd to be excited for Cassidy's return, but also to give us good wrestling between everyone involved. What do you think, Benny, of this match particular?
Just a second. Sorry about that. Like, the thing keeps just slowing down my internet. That's why I keep like just switching it off, switching it on. Like,
that's okay.
I guess I should have figured that out beforehand, but I did.
Hey, I kid you not, Benny. It is not a BC WrestlePod review if technology is working against us in some capacity. Anyways, continue.
Goddamn technology. Yeah, to be honest with you, I've always seen him as like he's not here for a long time. Anyways, like I always saw like this is pretty much his excursion. I know a lot of fans don't like to see it that way, and I understand. It's my opinion, but like the way that they've been pushing him in New Japan, like it seems to be leaning that way. But man, is that match gonna be glorious when we get to it?
I cannot wait.
Good old,
yeah, go for it.
Good old Kazoo, man.
Oh. For reals. I'm like, oh man, this was fun. Conglomeration wins. Now we can get to the photo I actually have posted after this. Again, Orange returned. Kyle Fletcher's out here. I was just like, ooh, babyface Kyle Fletcher, at least like level 0.2 uploading. Because I was like, this is kind of good. I love this promo. But Kyle Fletcher, you know what? Even though he didn't win, he hung in with Hangman, and that's how he sees it. But he needs to get back he wants to get back to the top of the mountain, so to speak. So what better way to start his journey back to the top by defeating the person who has an undefeated streak in AEW still. So Kyle Fletcher challenges Hologram for title versus streak at the Dynamite 6-year anniversary next week. And I was like, yes. And then Friday and Saturday, I was like, we're going to get into that when we get to Collision, though. I'm like, damn it, Hologram, we just got you back. Why are we out on injury? But then I found out, I was like, oh, okay, it's not Hologram itself. His clone is injured, so we have to put that on pause right now. I'm like, for reals. I was like, if it's not one, it's the other. But at this point of the show, we got Kyle versus Hologram.
Yeah, like I was just like gonna say that like it's the thing is about Hologram, like it's really been a rough go. As fun as it is, it's like he's here for 7 matches, wrestles the Beast Mortos, breaks his foot. finally comes back or whatever after a while, and then like a Rez gets injured, and it's like, God damn, we can only keep our interest for so long.
I was like, we were getting somewhere, darn you. Anyways. But again, at this point of the week, I was like, I'm excited for this match. We're going to put a pin in this and we're going to get back to it when we get to the update in Collision. I was like, all right. But we got to keep going through Dynamite, though, because I really enjoyed this match. To me, and this is just my opinion alone, people can disagree with me, and that's okay. I feel like Powerhouse Hobbs has always been underrated in AEW. I love him so damn much. But then you give him, a match against Claudio, and I'm just like 24. Just punch each other for 20 minutes. I'm here for it. Like,
that's pretty much what they did.
That's exactly how this match went. Powerhouse Hobbs and Claudio Castagnoli punching each other for like 15 minutes. But I was enthralled and was slightly turned on. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Hey, you do you, man.
Very, very true. But Benny, what did you think of this match?
Like you can work with the powerhouses as well, and he never seems to shrink away. You know, like he was built for this. And like as you said that like with Powerhouse, like I love Powerhouse Hobbs, but like I wish that somebody would get out of the way. I don't know who it is. Let Hobbs to the like you can tell that like Mox is just like yes. Powerhouse Hobbs.
Like immediately do it right now. Oh my goodness. But 100%. I was like, we know Hobbs can go. Let this man like just do it. But this was fun. I had a good time with this one.
I love Claudio's entrance in this one too, because like every villain that they find, they seem to have a cool new super villain entrance for Claudio.
I'm just like, give this man his own comic book. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right?
For reals. I'm just like, do it now. Please, it is amazing. But this was a lot of fun. I had a good time with this one. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this, I was just like, I got PTSD from those previous. Tony Khan has an important announcement from like the early days in year 3 of AEW. And I was just like getting flashbacks. Like I was like getting war flashbacks. I'm like, okay, breathe, calm down. All right, let's see what you got. And Tony, you did good with this one because Tony, backstage with the microphone. Really proud of you, Antonio. I didn't feel like you were staring into my soul too much when you were cutting this into the camera, but Tony Khan gives the women of AEW props, and in 2025 they have done an amazing job. And Tony wants to continue to move the women's division into another direction and to keep moving it forward. And it is here that we learn that Tony Khan is introducing the AEW Women Tag Team Championships, and then Renee gets to, unveil them. And I was like, oh my God, they're real. We've been waiting for this forever, and they're finally real. I cried tears of joy. I'm excited. Benny. I truly am.
I am as well. Like, it's funny. Like, as you said, like, when I saw the graphic, I was like, oh man. Like, because of PTSD, And then Tony's like in the back, just like, coming up, AEW will include Women's World Tag Team Champions. God damn it. Like, it's a long time coming. And when we get to Collision, we got some nice stuff in the pipeline.
We absolutely do. And again, this was great. But Tony Khan, I'm proud of you. I'm excited to see what we have planned for the women's tag team division. But really quickly, Copeland's got to take care of some stuff at home, and he tells Christian he does have family after all. And people are like, oh my gosh, Copeland's contract is coming up soon. He can go fight John Cena's retirement. And I was like, y'all need to stop tripping. He's going to go film season 3 of, Percy Jackson. Calm the flip down. I was like, y'all have took acid because you're straight tripping. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Because, like, all I could think of when I read a couple of those posts was, MJF going, you fucking Mark. Come on. Like in the history of AEW, has anybody been like, okay, bye, in a backstage promo and then leaves the company? What are you talking about? Oh, man. But there was, obviously, because, like, they've been, like, friends since, like, junior high or whatever. But, like, on his own, Edge is touch and go when it comes to being an actor. But this segment felt real, Like, it hit home is what I'm trying to say.
Which is, the important thing. And I'm just like, well, enjoy going filming because we're going to see those seasons whenever Disney Plus decides to drop them. And I'm just like, listen here, Disney Plus, don't play with me. I need y'all to start dropping these episodes soon, but at least we know season 2 is at least coming out in December. So this should be fun. Can't wait. But we are finally here. I don't know why I had these out of order, but that's okay. Oh, they look so pretty. This is what happens when you are working on these as well as a bunch of other things late at night as well. So I blame it on my tired brain. I blame it on my tired brain. Moving on. Main event time. AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander, Mina Shirakawa. Everybody wants Mina. I love Mina so damn much, man. I had a blast with this one. I was just like out the gate, man.
Like, yeah, I thought like Mina was like a perfect like first opponent for Stat, and because like, well, it all depends on how it goes tomorrow with the return of Tony Storm. But like this whole Statlander thing, like really the reason that I already not to relitigate it. But like a weeks ago, I had predicted that Chris Statler would win the belt at the pay per view. The reason was because this division needs a shakeup because Tony Storm had held the belt hostage. Well, for fun. I mean, hostage is the wrong word, but like because it was a fun ride. But like it needs a shakeup. Like a bunch of the women are just spinning their tires, just waiting for to be the challenger of the month.
Right.
And getting back to this match, like I thought that Mina was was a great first challenger because Mina is a hell of a wrestler, and you really can't go wrong with Stat. Like, but everything I want to say is probably coming up next.
Oh my goodness, this was great. Chris Statlander does ultimately win. She's celebrating with Harley Cameron in the ring. You know, Death Riders come out, and this was the best moment of my life because the Death Riders come in. Poor Harley's in the corner. Death Riders are like suddenly telling, without non-verbally telling Chris that she needs to be like, you know what you must do. Looking at Harley, and Harley's like, not again. So Chris is just like turning, looking, staring, and then just beats the crap out of Wheeler Yuta. Everybody cheers. Harley gets out of the ring because she's like, I know where this is going. And then Chris walks up to Moxley, flips the double bird at him, gets out of dodge, and we're like, Chris Statlander has officially rejected the Death Riders. And I was just like, baller. Can't wait to see that. Now, please let this lead to Chris versus Marina Shafir in some capacity, and I will call this the greatest thing to ever have happened in my life.
Yeah.
But oh no, Betty, we are not done because the Death Riders are like, what the heck just happened? And then, of course, it is never an AEW ending with Darby Allin unless he walks out with something that can catch on fire. And listen, the amount of times we have seen Darby and come out with a flamethrower, it's just like, yeah, that tracks at this point. But Darby comes out with this flamethrower. He quote unquote scares the Death Riders away. He gets on the microphone. We wouldn't get a confirmation in the official graphic until Collision. But Darby Allin challenges Jon Moxley to an I Quit match at Wrestle Dream, and it is made official on Collision. And I was just like, oh my God, these two are going to die, and I'm here for it. Like, they're going to die in St. Louis in a couple of weeks, and I'm here for it.
Oh, man. I like I'm going to start from the beginning and work my way back. But, like, I love Darby challenging Mox to an I Quit match. I know Tony likes to run things back even though they're done. But Tony, an I Quit match is the end of a storyline, okay? But I digress. And like because like what I really want to say was that like with Stat here giving the double bird. First off, Moxley is like she's getting the double bird and Moxley's just grinning ear to ear. In one of the photos, I found that hilarious. Both Willow and Stat stood up to two of the biggest acts in the company at the end of the show, and if they're not, and we got women's tag belts.
But this is just Dynamite, and I'm just like, wait a minute, you gave us all on Dynamite. What are we about to see on Collision? And I was like, Collision's gonna be fun. There's no way they're gonna add something crazier for it. Past Mikey, this current Mikey, we're gonna revisit you at the end of the Collision review because oh, how you were wrong. But speaking of which, let's just jump straight into Collision because again, Collision this week, we had all the graps as well as some storyline development and a huge announcement. So we're going to run through this, starting off again with pre-bumper promos, which are great, which leads us into our opening match. And I was like, if this is how you're opening, I cannot imagine how we're going to close this show. But we open up with a trios match. This is, of course, the Death Riders, which is Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and newest member Daniel Garcia, taking on Paragon, which is Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, and Danny's friend and compadre and amigo and Mr. Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. I like this one. Again, I'm going to say this a lot. I had fun. And this is what I feel like AEW gave me this week. I had fun. Also, my heart broke for Daddy Magic. I'm like, no, that's your bestie. He turned to the dark side.
Yeah, especially after, did you see the web exclusive interview? Like,
yes, and again, AEW, I love you for putting these on the social medias, but put them on the show.
Yeah, but then again, they only got like 4 hours, so you gotta move it along.
To some reports I read, that Shockwave, trademark that they put in a couple, 2 years ago, supposedly we might be getting Shockwave coming soon, and I'm just like, oh More AEW television.
No, in our luck, could it be the AEW version of Speed? It's just on
Listen,
X.
I was just like, oh no, like listen. We review everything, but we all agreed. I love our speed champions, but at the same time, I'm like, this is stupid. But it is what it is at this point. But oh my goodness. But I had fun with this match. I really, really did.
Oh, this match was fantastic. Like, this was clearly a vehicle for the storyline of Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia. And there's still some good wrestling in here. But like this one was very much more about the story, you know? And Danny Garcia effectively killed Daddy Magic as Matt. And I like that Danny now has like that like surfboard curb stomp as his finisher. I've never liked the Dragon Tamer, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like people either get out of it or like Moxley killed it like the first time he wrestled him. He just wrapped his arm around his neck and just like starts smashing him.
Oh,
Like,
he did.
okay, find a new finisher. I don't know.
Yeah, well, of course. Death Riders win. This was a fun way to open the show. And I'm like, if this is how we open, what are you going to give me the rest of the night, Collision? Well, let's continue on. So we get a bit of a squash match. It's not the epitome of Wheeler blink twice if you need help. Like, but you know what? I really liked seeing. Listen, Wheeler's fun. I love seeing that it was mixed tag team match. Shout out to Rachel Ellering. I love her to death. But I love this for the fact that it's like, oh my God, I actually like AEW is actually putting Marina in the ring now. Even if it's like, it took us forever, Tony, but we're slowly getting there. And I was just like, I know you're probably waiting on some things, but if Defy Wrestling has proven anything, I think Marina's ready for a little bit of one-on-one action and maybe even short feud. Like, put some girls for her to knock out. Like, come on now. Like, it's a knock it out, dragged out fight.
Absolutely. You know, I really like the way that Yuta has, like, he's always been good. I'm not saying that, like, he's come a long way in a short time or anything, but, like, I love that how much he generates heat from the crowd. And it wasn't always something he was doing. So, like, and, like, I just said, like, man, like, I've always been a big fan of Marina, and, excuse me, sorry.
You're all good. It's all good.
Get a 7-Up. That's a problem, you know? I shouldn't have brought the 7-Up. But anyways, Marina, like I haven't seen any of their Defied matches in a while that you've been referencing, but like she's been really growing a lot in ring. And like you can tell that she loves it, unlike a lot of her other friends. And poor Rachel Ellering got killed.
Seriously, talk about another one who's underrated in my personal opinion. Like, holy hell.
Yeah, well, like when they announced the Women's Pure tournament, I was like, why isn't Rachel Ellering here? It's just mind-boggling that you have somebody like that on the contract and you're not using her.
For real. And I'm just like, what are we doing? But that is not. But I am not a booker, so I don't get to make these kinds of decisions. But I'm like, why? But anyways.
Yeah, I get it.
So, I mean, tomorrow night, we're getting Chris and Darby versus Marina and Wheeler. And all I have to say to that is, Wheeler gonna die. I'm like, Wheeler gonna die. Oh my goodness. I love you, Wheeler. But you gonna die tomorrow. You gonna die. Like, for real. This is the trio that I want in my life right now. Like, holy hell. I was just like, yes. I'm like, yes. And the fact that they're teaming up tomorrow night too, I was just like, because of course, unfortunately, Shibata is out with injury for who knows how long. But I love that Hangman's just like, listen, we're gonna work together and we're gonna fight everybody. And I'm like, again, it's like the Avengers teaming up. I'm in for a good time tomorrow night with these three. Like, we're gonna that is all I have to say about this. This made my night. This made my Saturday so much fun. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, I always love Samoa Joe Riddle, because at first when I was listening to it, I was like, is he talking about Hangman? Because like he sort of gave him a side eye. Like when he started speaking, but I don't know if that's it. But like, I love this. I love this crew. It's a little weird, but like, it's a better fit than Hook, to be honest with you. So
hey, you know what? I am all okay with that. We gonna talk about Hook a little bit, yeah. So this is the trio that we're getting tomorrow. This is gonna be fun. But oh, Blake Christian, I was like, I love you. I wish AEW would stop having you do amazing, only for you to lose matches here on AEW roster, but I digress. So it is imperative that we, remind ourselves this is Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. They are not the Acclaimed. At least that's what we were being told. They are not back together officially. This is not the reuniting of the Acclaimed. It is Max Caster and Anthony Bowens at the behest of Jerry Lynn, of all people, tagging together to take on the Swirl, which is Mr. Blake Christian and Lee Johnson here. And I'm just like, why they gotta do Blake Christian like that? Just kidding.
Oh, you know,
it was fun. I had a good time, but I was just like, damn, Swirl, like y'all are the newest tag team and we can't even get you a decent win. Like, what are we doing?
Well, to be fair, like I think you might be one of 13 people that watches ROH on a regular basis.
Me and 12 of those accounts all belong to my different emails.
Yeah, exactly. So like what I mean is that like, Blake Christian, like that he needs to get over in front of this audience. Like tactically they don't really know who he is. Like I don't even know if he thinks he knows who he is. I don't know what this character is, to be honest with you. But like he's a damn good wrestler. But like I love this taking the piss out of the can they coexist storyline. No, they can't exist. That's why they broke up in the first place.
It's like, what are we talking about?
I really admire what they did with both characters. Like since the split, like Max Caster got himself over, and he's a babyface now. Like he became a babyface from being a dickhead. Was it? It was so not working that it felt on purpose. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's got like 7 catchphrases. Like trying to get the word mollywop over. Like, oh my god,
this is crazy. I was just like, we love it, and
I'm here for it. I love Anthony Bowens, but like the last thing I'll say about it. But like, could they not have introduced that in a promo? Instead of just letting him walk out with it, because
seriously, oh my gosh, I'm still not over that. I'm still mad about it.
Even like I heard about the thing through Blue Sky or whatever. I'd never seen the plaque before. I didn't even know what that was.
I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, what is happening?
Well, you get a sheet of paper too. That's cool. What does it say?
I can't. I'm just like, Max and Anthony win. Jerry Lynn tries to get them to scissor. And I was just like, Jerry Lynn, why are you the placebo daddy ass? Like, what are we doing? Why are we trying to do this again? But Anthony Bowens is like, nah, I'm a dip. And he does exactly that. So I'm like, okay, don't think that we needed this, but you know what? I had a great time. Blake Christian, I want them to do better with you. Anyways, moving on. Oh, wait, back up. Listen.
I'm sorry to laugh.
No, we're going to get to that. We're going to let that picture go up for a little bit, and I'm going to just stare because I was like, now, we said this is going to be the gayest show ever. The next picture we're going to talk about is the epitome of that, and I'm here for it. But really quickly, we get a really, really good video package of the women's tag teams. And there is, TJ, are unofficially announcing themselves to be in the contention. I'm like, listen, I'm here for TJ all day. Like, I am here for those girls. And honestly, it's about that time we get these tag titles because there are so many good women's tag teams right now. So this is going to be good. I'm excited. Now we can stare at this picture because, God.
Can I say something about TJ? Like, I thought it was really interesting that, like Anna Jay was the first, like tweet that popped up in that video. And then, like, they were the ones talking about it, about the belt afterwards. And, like, this was really heartfelt. Like, you could tell that, like, it actually meant a lot to them. Okay? It wasn't, they're not going to win an Oscar, but man, you could feel you could feel it through the screen, This was really genuine, and let's go Ty J.
Seriously, honestly, I'm here for them, honestly. So, fantastic. Now, gay. Anyways, I'm so excited for this trio. I'm excited that Dalton Castle is back in the ring. Oh my gosh. I did not know that I wanted the Outrunners to dress up like Marlboro cigarette boxes, which is crazy to me. Like, I was like, a friend pointed that out to me. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot unsee it now.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, like, somebody was just like, they switched brands because they had the Newport ones, like, back in, like, All In or whatever, early in the year or whatever. Like, what is this?
I was like, but honestly, I'm okay with it because Dalton, I missed you so much. I missed him talking to the camera too. I was just like, yes, I have missed you. It's been like a year and a half, 2 years at this point. And I was like, since it's been a while, Dalton was out for a while, and I was just like, guys.
Yeah, like one thing that I loved about this was that like it didn't need to be 5 minutes. Like it actually works better if like their entrance is longer than the match.
For real. I'm just like, oh my goodness, we know what's up. Oh my goodness. I was like, yes. I can't wait to see what's next for them.
Ditto.
Banger. This was a banger. Kyle Fletcher versus Comandante. Again, the law of equivalent exchange states that, when we have one luchador come back, another must take its place. There can only be uno. So we get this TNT Championship Open Challenge match. Kyle Fletcher versus Commander. I have Miss Commander on my screen. Happy he is back. But again, equivalent exchange, hologram, or at least his clone is out for a little bit, so we got to put a pause on that. But this was a bop. This was a banger. Happy to see Commander back. Kyle Fletcher retains. I figured he would, but I had a fun time with this. Happy to see Commander back.
I actually heated something a little the other day. During this, and I was just like, if they knew this match was going to happen, why did they talk about this match after Kyle challenge hologram,
right?
You could be like as he's walking out, oh, it's Kyle Fletcher. He's gonna face Commander on Collision. What does he have to say? I'm not booking it. I'm sorry.
You're all good. Trust me, you are fine. But
yeah, to be honest with you, these two had a series of great matches over the ROH TV title last year, and to see them on AEW proper having a match over a TV title just goes to show that somebody is paying attention to Ring of Honor. Not all the time, but So I really enjoyed it because at first he seemed a little bit like a one-trick pony, but the more I got to watch him, I was like, oh, he's actually really good. He's a really good ragdoll too because he's a smaller guy,
Right. So, but this was a fun match. And again, because of things that happened, we're going to talk about you a little bit later, Kyle Fletcher, because your match tomorrow night got changed a little bit. But I'm still excited for it. Kyle Fletcher, with hologram being attacked, he still wants to continue to make, his journey back to the top of the mountain. So he's putting his TNT championship on the line against Orange Cassidy, whatever, man, tomorrow. And I'm just like, now hear me out, right? Orange shouldn't win, but it's Orange Cassidy. I have learned to expect unexpected anytime Orange is involved. I'm like, we're going to wait and see. It's truly 50-50 for me. I'm like, a good match tomorrow.
There's going to be some comedy gold in this because, Fletcher's character right now is furiously mad about everything, and she's just man, whatever.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. Yeah, I cannot wait.
It's with Pac being back and also OC now being back. It's fight forever.
Seriously, it's crazy out here. But we are getting this match tomorrow at Dynamite 6-year anniversary. Cannot wait. This is going to be good. Oh, man. Okay, so did we expect anything different? No. Am I happy to see Eddie Kingston back on my screen? Yes. Do I like Hook and Eddie Kingston being a tag team? The jury is still out on that one. Am I sad that Big Bill and Brian Keith continue to lose? Yes. Did I have a fun time with this match? Yeah, sure. I mean, thankfully it was a tornado tag because I was just like, this is rough. But it makes sense. I'm just like, Antonio Khan, how dare you do this to your new Defy men's champion, Brian Keith? What are we doing? Just kidding. But yeah, I was just like, this was fine. Served its purpose. Am I going to go back and rewatch this? Probably not. But again, it did what it needed to. And I was like, it's fine. It is what it is. I feel like this is my only, not necessarily a stinker, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what else I could add to that except for Eddie and Hook. It's just so uninspiring to be
come on now.
We're all not from New York. We don't know what the connection is. But to be honest with you, I saw they had a backstage exclusive, I guess, after the pay-per-view or whatever. And, it's pretty funny. I don't want to get us demonetized, but they were clearly partaking in something.
That is one of my favorite moments from wrestling in the last, year or two.
There was a moment in that backstage session with Hook and Eddie where, looking at him, it's so funny. To be honest with you, we've spent way too much time on this match.
I mean, that's very fair. So this served its purpose. We move on. I called this, and I'm so happy that I was right. The Bang Bang Gang just got bigger with Ace Austin. Hell yes. Whenever they're ready, I'm ready for Colton and Jay White to come back, and then this faction's about to destroy. I'm so excited.
It's too bad they can't have the Bullet Club name, huh?
It's very true, but you know what? I'm excited. This is fun, and I'm excited because this gives Ace Austin another step into the AEW universe after his match against Ricochet. So cannot wait. Fun.
That was a while ago.
For real. Strap in because tomorrow night is 2.5 hours of Dynamite. I was like, God, you're killing me, Tony.
I did not know that.
I learned about this when I was putting the slides together. I'm like, oh hell, here we go. 2.5 hours, and I was just like, that's only 30 minutes off from September to remember, and that was a lot. I was like, that was a lot, Tony. But it is 2.5 hours tomorrow. I love the graphic they have. I don't have it, but they have a graphic because Tony Storm's going to be there tomorrow. Tony returns to Hollywood, in parentheses, Florida.
Fantastic.
So strap in because tomorrow's Dynamite is 2.5 hours. And I'm like, all right, as I don't watch enough wrestling as it is now, I guess I'll watch another 30 minutes of Dynamite outside of the regular 2. Why not?
Actually, come to think of it, what's an extra 20 minutes, an extra 10 minutes?
I mean, that's
always
very fair.
20 minutes.
But main event, Miss Jamie, I love you, but I want to give flowers to Julia because she has come so far from cheerleader to Princess of Darkness to being really awesome in the ring. And I'm like, Julia, girl, like this, yes, you get one of these. I'm like, yes, girl. Jamie versus Julia 3 did not disappoint. This was great.
Yeah, like, I really love how much Julia's grown, like you said. But like when she fired up at the end, I was like, who is that? I've never seen that. That was great. Do it again.
Oh my goodness. This was such a good match. So Jamie does pick up the victory here. Triangle of Madness come out to beat up Jamie. Queen Aminata comes out, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, the one. I love her so much. Also, Jessie gets mad at me because I still remember her older moniker. She doesn't really use it now. But let's talk about why we're really here, though. So Triangle of Madness attacks afterwards. Queen is there to protect. Jamie is sick and tired of it. So there's only one way to settle it. And even though she is not William Regal, she is a Brit. So in her British accent, she says, "Gin guts." And I fell out of my chair. I'm like, oh, it is in existence. We are actually getting a women's blood and guts match. Holy crap. And I lost my absolute mind. And I was like, oh my God, it's real and we're getting it.
Nana has a great blog, right? Like
so good.
And apparently she makes all her own gear.
Makes a lot of sense.
I think Jamie delivered the line a lot better than William Regal, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. And so, like, again, this happened to end the show. I was so stoked. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see when we're getting this. And then they announced today that Blood and Guts is happening Wednesday, November 12th. And the first ever women's Blood and Guts will be then. And I was just like, pinch me, I'm dreaming. Oh my God. I was like, 2025 is the greatest year of wrestling. 2025 is such a good year. I was like, listen, y'all, if you ain't on that AEW hype train, y'all, get into it now or wait until Blood and Guts because you're about to witness. Everybody's going to metaphorically die. There's going to be Crimson. It's going to be nuts. And listen, I watch everything, right? Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that we would get Blood and Guts and a war cage match in the same month. And I am living my fantasy. Oh man, I'm so excited for Blood and Guts if you can't already tell. But
yeah, what a fantastic week it was for the women overall. Like they both shows main evented with women's matches.
So good.
I know, right? Like because like we've all been saying for a long time, like they're just as good as the men, and they need stars. And guess who's just as willing to step up?
Oh man, I'm like, what a great week for AEW, especially the women's division, as you said. Holy hell! Like Tony, capitalize on this. We talked about about a month ago, with your big men stars like Swerve and Osprey out for who knows how long, and we're still missing a couple of folks. Now is the time to make new stars, but instead of focusing on the men's division, use the entire AEW women's division as your new superstars until we get Swerve and, Osprey back. And honestly, this week took so many steps forward in that thinking, and I was just like, all right, Tony, execution is going to be especially crucial. Do not mess this up now. I believe in you. Do it, because if this is any indication, you got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm excited to see where the remainder of AEW's women's division goes in 2025. Blood and Guts, tag team titles. Like, if Tony capitalizes and does and executes this correctly, Benny, I think AEW will open the floodgates to something we cannot even fathom right now. Oh my goodness. They've been playing it so smart this year, and this is somebody who watches everything, including the Fed, but AEW has been playing very smart this year. I feel like even though Revolution's main event was really rough, I feel like they learned from that, and since then, they've been firing on all cylinders since April.
To be honest with you, I think whoever's in the booking committee has really locked things down this year. Like, I know that they say like everything goes through Tony, right? But like, it was such a tonal shift at the beginning of the year that was like, yeah, he else is like in his ear, you know. What was your match of the week?
Ooh, that's a good question. There was a lot of good stuff.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest. I think because of I'm one of those people who always loves investing in wrestlers from the beginning to where they currently are. For me personally, I'm not saying it was the most technically like amazing match, but I had a blast watching it. I think my favorite match was probably Jamie and Julia, but that's a big part due to being very proud as somebody who's watched Julia from the very beginning in AEW to where she is now, and I'm just like, I'm so proud of her. And I knew something special was coming because I got a chance to be live at Full Gear. What was it? 2 years ago, it was in Los Angeles, where we got Jay White and MJF in the main event. And Julia was in that triple threat between her, Chris, and Sky.
Yeah,
That was something special. And same thing with Sky.
Belt?
Yes, that is where Julia won the belt. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the next chapter for Julia. And from there to where we are now, it's just like, I'm proud of Julia. So that is probably my favorite AEW match this past week. What about you?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I'd have to go I'm gonna bookend it because you picked the last match. I'm gonna go with Brodito versus GOA.
Hell yeah.
Pretty much for the same exact reasons. And that, like, I've really been a big fan of the way that GOA has come along in the past few years. Leona, like, he might still be really green, but he makes up for it in just sheer intensity. And you can tell he has great instincts. And putting him in a tag team, not the worst idea. But man, all four of them had incredible chemistry from the moment the bell rang. It was crazy. Not so much on the camera work,
but yeah, no, I agree with you. Brodito versus Goa was one of my favorites this week too. But that is going to bring us to the end of our AEW Dynamite 6-year anniversary. Is tomorrow at 2.5 hours Collision as well, and we are slowly but surely we are building towards the next pay-per-view, which is Wrestle Dream, which is happening in 3 weeks, which is crazy to say out loud. So it's like, all right, kids, we just got out with All Out Toronto, so we got 3 weeks to build to Wrestle Dream. We got this. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But I'm excited. Benny, thank you so much for being here this evening. And this is not the only review that we will see you in this week. But let's get into that news, shall we? So let's take a look at what the remainder of this week looks like, because I don't know why I decided to do this to myself, but why not, right? So, okay, let me preface by saying that from between now and Friday is like a regular week. So tomorrow evening, Wednesday, October 1st at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, the NXT crew will be here to review NXT's No Mercy and also touch upon the NXT episode that it happened tonight, which is a build to the NXT versus TNA show happening next week, which is crazy to say in 2025. But then at 8 p.m. Pacific, the CMLL crew is going to be reviewing. So Night of Champions for CMLL, 7 championships were on the line, and it was a blast. So we're going to talk about all that. And then Friday, the TNA boys will be getting together to review Victory Road, which was a pay-per-view that was marred by lots of changes. We got retirements from in-ring action competitors, which was not on my bingo card, and it was crazy. And they did a really so we'll talk afterwards, but like,
okay, sorry.
I don't have all the details, but I was shocked when it happened. But then I'm a masochist because on Saturday in the morning I am doing a Loser Leaves Progress match, and then I will also be reviewing GCW Bloodsport London, which is always great. And then later on in the evening, I will be back to do a live watch along for MLW's next big show, which is Slaughterhouse. So I'm excited for that. Which Slaughterhouse, unless we get another pre-tape special, will be the last show leading us into their November event, which is Dia de los Lucha. So it's a Dia de los Muertos event with Lucha Libre and CMLL. So that's going to be a fantastic bout. And then we just wrap things up with WWE on Sunday, which we will also be making our predictions for Crown Jewel Perth. Yeah, it's only been like 2 weeks since WrestlePalooza, and we're already at another pay-per-view for the Fed. So I'm like, Too much wrestling.
So you trying to burn yourself out like by Monday?
Next week is even crazier because next week is like exclusively outside of AEW. It's exclusively pay-per-view week. And then we're doing a live watch. Yeah, next weekend is a live watch along for Bound for Glory for TNA. So that's going to be crazy too. But that's going to be it for us here at All Elite Ensemble. Benny and I got to get up on out of here, and we also want to chat afterwards. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to tune in the remainder of this week for all the BC Wrestle Pod goodness. But until next time, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll see you tomorrow for NXT's No Mercy and CMLL. But until then, and until next time, peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.